I'm about to show you guys how you can make $100 a day just off $50 bets. Now, these are one of my many strategies that work on a day-to-day basis, which I'm about to teach you. All right, this is an MLB strategy. So make sure you have your notepad ready because I'm about to go through and show you exactly what you need to look for. So the first thing what you want to look for, this is going to be a player prop strategy for baseball. All right, so you need to have obviously the sports books that are available so that way you could use it. Now, what it's going to zone in on is going to be that particular at bat when a player is up to hit. There are a couple sports books that allow that right off the top of the dome. BetMGM is one of them that allows that. So if you have access to BetMGM, you're good. All right, if you don't, you're gonna have to do some diving to see if you can find these bets that I'm about to tell you. So first off, have the sports book. All right, second thing, now you're gonna wanna know what pitcher is owned around all the daily fantasy leagues in their lineups. All right, there are a couple websites that you could use to find that out, but you want to make sure that you have the pitcher that is the highest owned among all those daily fantasy lineups. All right, the reason why for this is because in the daily fantasy world, everybody that has around the same pitcher, that pitcher is most likely has a good matchup and is going against a team that can't hit on them. All right, because if they did, they wouldn't be in everybody's lineup. All right, so make sure you find that out. You got to find that pitcher out first. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over to Fantasy Alarm and look at the MLB lineups. All right, once you look at the MLB lineups, it's going to show you how they bat against that pitcher. Now you're going to want to go through that list and make sure that there are no hitters that bat really well against this pitcher. If they do, then what you're going to do is you're going to cross those names out. All right, so for example, if a player is hitting 500 off a guy at 14 at bats, he has 7 hits, well, we're going to cross that guy out. All right, we don't want somebody that's a hot hitter against the pitcher that we have. Once you have that down, next thing you're going to do is you're going to go the strikeout percentage of those batters that are in that lineup. Now you want to make sure that any batter that's in that lineup is not in the top 25 with strikeout percentage. We don't want to play players that strike out a lot. All right, because that's going to make us lose the bet that I'm explaining to you. So go through, and if they are in the top 25, then you're going to go and you're going to put an X through that player. All right, once you get that done, you should have been narrowed down to about probably 5 players, all right, in a certain lineup going against one of the top pitchers that are on the slate. All right, that's what we want. All right, we want about 5 players going against the top pitcher owned amongst all the DFS sites, which is FanDuel, DraftKings, all that good stuff. All right, that's what we want first off. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, and now this is kind of, you have to keep up with this game. If not, watch the game on TV, have the game pulled up on your phone like the Gamecast or whatnot. That's what we're gonna have to have. But what you want to do is you're gonna want to now go have that game ready to go, like you're gonna watch that game, and also make sure that you have your sportsbook pulled up. All right, the sportsbook where you're gonna find this bet, like I said, is going to be, it's not under player props, but it's gonna be under game props. All right, you're gonna look at the at bat. So what we're doing is we're gonna be betting on what the at bat, the outcome of that at bat is going to be. All right, so you have your 5 players down, you got your pitcher, got your sportsbook open, you got pretty much the game cast ready to go or the TV ready to go, so that way you can see what's going on in the game. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the list of those 5 players, and you're going to bet $50 on each player that you have out of those 5 players to either get an out or an error. All right, so what that means is they're either gonna fly out, they're gonna pop out, or if somehow they get on base because of an error, you still end up winning. All right, now the odds on these plays are going to be plus 115 up to plus 130. Rarely they're in the minus. All right, rarely you'll get a minus 110 or minus 105, but sometimes that does happen. All right, so these plays, you're gonna get plus money on most of them. All right, so make sure you have that lined up and you have the correct bet ready to go. Now, once you have all that good stuff pulled up, you've placed your bet on those 5 hitters. Now realize this, you're gonna have $50 per hitter times 5. You'll have $250 out at one time. All right, you only need to hit 3 out of those 5 batters. All right, if the odds are even greater than that, then you only have to hit maybe 2 out of those 5. All right, if you have some plus 150s and plus 160s in there, but on a day-to-day basis, you only need to hit 2 to 3 out of those 5 to be able to be successful and to be able to make some money here. Now, if you hit 4 out of 5, then you're gonna be making well over $100 per day. All right, you hit 3 out of 5, you're at $50, you're gonna be making around $60, $70 to almost $100. And remember, like I said, we're not aiming to hit every single one. Sometimes the pitcher might be hot and he's not striking out a lot of guys, and guess what? You might hit 5 out of 5, all right? And that would be a huge day. But our goal here is just to hit that 3 out of 5, and if they're higher odds, 2 out of 5 mark. All right, that's the goal here. Now, once you get the first wave going through of the at-bats, all right, let's say you go 2 out of 5, all right, and let's say the odds were around plus 120, 125, so you kind of broke even, maybe you lost a little bit. Now what you can do is you can wait until the second round of at-bats come. As long as the pitcher's still the same, you can wait till the second round of at-bats come. All right, once the second round of at-bats come, now any of those players that you lost, that either they got a hit, you will bet them again. All right, you will bet those players again to either bounce out, fly out, or they reach base on an error. All right, you're going to get plus money again on those. All right, so you can go back to back on the first 2 rounds of, you know, the batting order. As long as they're going against the same pitcher, you can go 2 rounds on it. All right, you can go back to back. So our goal here is, again, to just get 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, depending on the odds. All right, if the odds are higher, we can go 2 out of 5. If the odds are a little lower, we can get 3 out of 5. If we can go 2 rounds of at-bats and you're able to make a profit of $50 to $70 to $100 per round, you're making $100 a day. All right, now there will be certain days where you break even, which that can happen. All right, but most likely if you do 2 rounds, then you will make a little bit of money. You can make anywhere from $50 to $100 a day doing that. All right, the only way that you have a losing day is if the pitcher that you pick somehow just blows it up. All right, he goes out there and he just keeps getting rocked and he can't get anybody out. That's the only way that you end up actually losing, which will happen every so often, once in a while, where an ace pitcher will come up and he will get knocked around. All right, but there's nothing you can do about that. We're in the average game here. All right, so more times than not, that pitcher's going to go out there, he's going to get some outs. All right, and we're going to be on those players to get those outs, and you're going to get it at plus money. All right, as you can do that consistently, you'll be able to make anywhere from $50 to $100 a day just doing that. All right, and that's off $50 bets, guys. All right, if you're doing $100 bets higher than that, then obviously, you know, you're gonna make more money than that. But once again, let's go through the whole process so that way you guys have it down. All right, make sure you have a sports book that you can bet certain at bats for players. All right, that's the most important, because if you don't, you can't do the strategy at all. Next thing, go find Fantasy Alarm MLB lineups. Find the lineups that are going against the pitcher that is the most owned amongst all the DFS fantasy sites that are out there. Once we have our list, we have all our hitters down. Any hitter that's batting hot against, we cross them out. All right, we do not want hot hitters going against our pitcher. We don't want that. Next thing you want to do is you want to find the top 25 strikeout percentage for those hitters. All right, if there's any that are in the top 25 that are in your lineup, you will cross those guys out. Like I said, once you go through those processes, you should be about 5 guys left over, all right, out of those 9 guys. You should have about 5. Now, we're gonna go and we're gonna pull up, you know, the Gamecast, have the TV ready, all that good stuff, have our sports book ready, go and place those batters to either pop out, fly out, or they reach on an error. It's all one bet. It says it right there in the description, okay? Once you do that, you will do it for the first round, all right? Then you will wait and you will do it for the second round. So you will get 2 full at-bats of those hitters. So you're pretty much going to be placing mostly 10 bets in that game, all right? You're looking to get just an average of $50 to $100 per game that you do this with. All right, which you only should be doing it with 1 game, really, all right? Because there should only be 1 pitcher that is highly owned amongst all the DFS, so that way you can zone in on that 1 pitcher against those batters, all right? And like I said, there will be days where the pitcher gets blown up. It'll happen, but more often than not, you will win long-term doing that strategy. And also, you can really profit pretty quick because you know what's going to happen. Really, boom, right there at that at-bat. All right, this strategy does not take that long. All right, put it that way. 2 at-bats, 2 rounds of at-bats is going to get you into probably the 3rd or the 4th inning. All right, so you'll know exactly what happens for the whole game within the first 4 or 5 innings. All right, but other than that, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm out.